Welcome back, everybody, to Quake Pro League, Stage 2, Week 7. I am 40 Lions, joined by Dan. Dan, we're heading into a set of double Ds, Dooi versus DaHanG.
It's the best letter in the alphabet, that's all I can say. So we're in for a good matchup if that's the standard I'm holding it to.
Oh yeah. I think a rough road for Dooi, though. We saw last week he went against DaHanG's teammate 3-0 in favor of Rafa. Probably what we expected, but the way in which he dismantled Dooi, just kind of demoralizing about map number 2 and 3 was just, it wasn't even really a map. So hoping that Dooi could bounce back, but against DaHanG, it's going to be a tall task. Dooi having a rough road this season. He hasn't put up a series yet. He's sitting in 8th place, but essentially it's dead last because of the bye weeks for Effortless and Dramas. So it's just a rough ride for Dooi, hoping he could bounce back, but we'll see. DaHanG is probably not going to allow that, if I'm honest.
No, I think it's very rare I would ever go into a series and predict a 3-0. Obviously, Rafa may be a side, but this is one of them I would probably side, again, 3-0 to DaHanG. And again, that's no discredit to Dooi. I just think DaHanG is finding himself again, and Dooi is doing the opposite somewhat there. You know, I think last stage we saw him kind of reinventing himself a little bit. He has done slowly over the course of the year. He's become incredibly aggressive a lot of the time. And that's become the norm, which is great. But again, it's not working as much as it was before. So I guess some internal reflection needed. But saying that, he's put up some great maps. We see some amazing play from Dooi. It's just one of those seasons where some things are not working. And then you need to be on your A game at all times to kind of be putting out maps against these players.
Yeah, completely agree. Just a couple adjustments, and it could be a completely different story. But DaHanG sitting pretty at 2nd, right behind his teammate Rafa. If he puts this one up 3-0, I think they're going to be tied. So it should be a good set. If we can, I would like to get into the pick bands, try and paint a better picture of what's going to go down between these two players. So we got Awoken to kick off the set into Deep Embrace, and Ruins of Sarnath to round it out. So Ranger, Doom guy. Then we got Athena versus Sorlag. That might be brutal.
Dude. Yeah, that's going to be brutal.
I think that's going to be a little brutal, very interesting. And then Nix and Strog. So, yeah, story of this one, Deep Embrace, huh? Rough ride for Dooi.
I mean, maps 2 and 3 are going to be incredibly rough for Dooi. Yeah, I think map 1, fine. Awoken, Ranger, and Doom, both very good picks on that map. I think if you don't get one, you get the other. But Deep Embrace, like, Dooi picks Athena first, and then he gets a Sorlag slapped at him. Wow, that feels bad, man. I don't know.
Do you think that's a flub? Do you think that was just a blunder in terms of the pick ban phase?
Potentially, maybe it slipped his mind because like there was a Keel ban and straight up, then there was a Scale Bearer ban. So you see the two big heavies are at the pool, and you think, okay, maybe I pick an Athena, I can go up against maybe a Galena or something along that ilk, but then maybe it just slips his mind. I don't know, but he's going to have to play spectacular to pull a result out there because that map is fast and furious, and Sorlag enjoys that atmosphere. And then Ruins as well. Like I keep banging on about it. I'm not a big fan of Nyx. I think she's very hard to play. And then DaHanG is one of the best in the world at Strog and Pika, and Ruins is such a great map for that. So I just think the pressure on Dooi to pull a result out on Ruins is going to be immense. He's going to have to play smart. He's going to have to play defensive. He's going to have to time well. He's going to hit all of his shots. Because if you miss a single shot, DaHanG's in your face. And then what do you do? If you don't have a Ghost Walk, you're dead. And then if you have a Ghost Walk, you pop it, and you're on the back foot again. So it's such a tough ask to put a result out there. I can't see this one going his way.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough ride, especially Ruins being the 3rd map. Depending on how the first 2 go, he could already be in a horrific mental state given the outcome of the first 2 maps. But nevertheless, lock in your predictions, chat. Let's see what you think. It looks a little one-sided so far. I think the saving grace for Dooi may be that he does get his Ranger on Awoken, and he's very good with that champ. Loves using the Dire Orb. If he could use it successfully, I think he takes away this first map. But again, DaHanG is just so calculated, so precise with how he plays. It's going to be a rough ride for Dooi. But you never know. Maybe that one Dire Orb, that one Hail Mary play kind of splits the difference and turns the tide in Dewey's favor. But predictions going in, let me take a quick look. How bad is it? Don't look, Dan. Don't look. You don't want to see it. It's a massacre. But how are you thinking?
I'm actually dumping my points into the pink at the moment because I agree with you. Like, if there's a map where Dewey can pull it out in this series, it's going to be this one. I've seen some really good performances from him on Awoken. As you say, Ranger is his old school speciality, and is a map where it does favor conflict, it favors aggression, and that's where Dewey's been playing, and so that's why we've seen him best here. But it's DaHanG. Like, it's one of the world's best players. You're going to have to play spectacular to take a map off him at all. And if DaHanG takes this one, then it's DaHanG to the moon, because I can't see a Dewey result on maps 2 or 3.
Well, we'll see if it's to the deed right now. Dewey looking to wreck everyone's predictions, and all the pressure is on him as we are live right now. Map number 1 between Dewey and DaHanG.
Pumped half of my prediction points into DaHanG, so don't let me down. No bias here on the cast.
No bias at all, as DaHanG just posting up with that rail. Very patient here as he casually grabs an LG, and he's going to run into a shotgun to the face, and just like that, Dewey, 2 pumps, but ain't no chump. Gets that frag up 1 early.
Nice start, but DaHanG once again is putting on the pressure, and something he does very well indeed is constantly having a presence in and around the ISIS. But Dewey actually a little bit late to the party here, and DaHanG's going to bounce him around like a pinball. Finally blows him up with a little bit of health to spare.
With all the damage he did from the LG, it's a bit curious he didn't try and finish with a Dire Orb, but you know, DaHanG doing what he does best to tie it up at 1. Dewey trying to get a little additional damage here, but he actually takes a lot from that Rocket Splash. Needs to be careful. Mega's going to be up, but DaHanG should be able to get a clear path to this one. Dewey dropping down through the telly to try and escape. Wants an LG. Does he give up full map control? DaHanG has positioning. He could drop on this one for free, but never mind. Dewey with the LG, and he's going to get melted as he tries to make it play.
Questionable from Dewey. Twice in a row, he's late to the party over by the heavy, and DaHanG, you got to count, he's going to be there on time, and on time he was. Dewey didn't bring a bottle of wine and got shut out of that one, and once again he's been shut down in the corridor this time, trying to bide his time, hoping DaHanG goes the other way. It's not been his day so far.
Yeah, no wine at all. He did try and cheese DaHanG though. A little bit of machine gun. I think shotgun would have been better in that play as we saw on the first frag. 36 HP trying to moonwalk his way back to the heavy. Actually laying some good nail damage too. And that's got to be frustrating for DaHanG. That rocket was almost gorgeous.
Oh, these angles have been smart, but Dewey's just bouncing over them so far. He's actually going to go aggressive, no relenting, and
there it is.
Dire to the face. Goodbye, Doom Guy.
That's the Dewey that we know and love. Finish with Dire Orb always. As now he pushes through the telly, but DaHanG, the LG so strong. Denies that advance.
It's
round 2. Wants it again. Tries to go for it, and DaHanG again puts him down.
But why? It doesn't make sense.
Oh, but neither does the Gauntlet, but DaHanG again. The LG just a little bit too strong there as Dewey had him in a corner.
Make it make sense, 40. No!
Oh no, please. Why is this happening?
Okay, he's got himself an item here, but you know, it took him 4 frags to get that. That's fine. It's fine. He's going to go up the jump pad as well. That's not fine. And Dewey is just, he needs to check himself a little bit because he's going to wreck himself to go old school. But DaHanG's just kind of waiting for this time and time again.
Yeah, it looks like Dewey's a little crisscrossed here as DaHanG just keeps jumping. And 7-2, 3 minutes in, and the relentless pressure from Dewey not really working out. Mega goes to DaHanG. There's the shotgun around the corner. That's the weapon you want, but the punches in the face, the Berserk prevails, 8-2. But if you're going to sit around the corner and try and chunk, I mean, shotgun's the way you want to go. LG on LG, but DaHanG again prevails and says, do not step to my LG.
The problem I'm having with this is that these pushes, they don't really seem to have a strategy behind them. Like, it's the kind of situation where you're like, I just hope he doesn't hit anything and I hit everything. Because the stack advantage is so big for DaHanG that even if Dewey hits 100%, he's still going to lose out considerably. And not even to the point where he can then push again off the spawn. So what is the goal here is what I'm asking myself. And the answer is, there isn't one.
Oh my god, and DaHanG is going just off right now, hitting everything. And Dewey admittedly giving him a bit of a layup here, 2-12, and it's going to get messier and messier as DaHanG just keeps piling on. And 4 minutes in, 13-2, is this going to be the highest scoring game we've seen in QPL? I know Deep Embrace is usually the candidate for that, but with plays like this, DaHanG could be looking at a 30 bomb.
At least I can say my points are secured, 40. That's all. The only comfort I'm taking in this so far, because it is even painful to watch at this point.
Yeah, this is absolutely brutal. If you're in the Dewey stock, you want to sell here as he tries to make something happen with that Dire Orb. Wants a little bit of the rail, but DaHanG is just, he knows those extra peaks are just costing him. DaHanG always firing off a rocket, being prepared for the push, as Dewey is just so, everything is so telegraphed now.
I mean, it was telegraphed from moment zero, really, and DaHanG just read every single move Dewey was looking to make. And I mean, the first few you can classify as mistakes. The subsequent ones you have to just say, you know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Dewey was like fool me 16 times at this point. So,
ooh, look what a rocket damage there from that vertical rocket. DaHanG looking to advance here. Mega is up behind Dewey. He's going to be able to take a rail before falling back onto it. And wow, DaHanG almost hits another beautiful one. Yeah, just such a giant hole to try and climb out of. And drops down with a rail. That's not what you want. Dire Orb's out of trouble for the time being. 60 HP, though, and it's only a matter of time. DaHanG hunts him down yet again. Not the start you wanted if you're Dewey at all. It's looking a bit dire, if I say so myself. 63 HP through the telly goes to DaHanG, just looking for maybe one more. Yeah, there's the daisy straight to the face.
okay, can we GG and go next instead of watching this for 4 more minutes?
Dan has had enough. If you were the manager for Dewey, you'd throw in the towel right now.
I would just unplug his Ethernet at this point and say, no more.
Stop, he's already dead. But unfortunately for Dewey, he's got 4 more minutes of the pain train as DaHanG, again, looking to pile it on. I mean, we've seen Rafa kind of have these leads and these blowouts, and I think DaHanG wants to put one of his own up as that rocket straight to the chest. Can we check DaHanG for homing rockets? Because that was incredible here. Now here's the push from Dewey, trying to catch him off guard from the banana, but again, DaHanG's LG just too strong. The stack is just better, the LG is just stronger, and there's not anything Dewey can do. There's no answers to this. There's the Dire Orb up close and personal. Never mind. Right when I say it, Dan, Dewey hits him with a Dewey special. And just DaHanG is like, okay, fine. Things that shouldn't work that work for 500, Alex.
Maybe Dewey bet on DaHanG.
Oh, interesting. You're saying he's sponsored by a certain team. I see. 21-3 as Dewey just... This isn't the bounce back we wanted. I know there's 2 maps left, but this is a rough start. Does have Dire Orb back. It does get a speed boost from DaHanG. Very kind of him to go through the telly as he makes his way back to the Mega, but he's very, very early now. Again, waiting around the corner for the shotgun, trying to get a pump or 2 for free. DaHanG missing with a rail. Ooh, not missing with that rocket damage, though. There's a great jump across into the Dire Orb, and there's a little bit of misdirection. That's going to get him a frag. 2:30 left. Even I would say there's no time on this one. I don't think there's time.
Thank God.
It took a lot, Dan. It took a lot.
Oh my God, Dewey's not running at him. It didn't work
clearly
out.
wrong here.
Maybe you should have, because that was not the play either.
Just brutal. DaHanG relentless, as he should be. Anything goes in the arena. 2 more minutes for DaHanG to warm up his aim, really.
Yeah, DaHanG is gunning for more frags than he has ping at this point.
Oh, that rocket. Dire Orb in hand. Dewey could finish if he lands this rail. Ooh, guesses wrong, misses with the follow-up rail, and does DaHanG turn this around? And he does. It's got to be so frustrating.
He really wanted that light armor 40. He really wanted it.
That was going to be the difference maker.
Yeah.
Rocket jumping off of his face now as Dewey somehow avoids that rocket but cannot avoid the rail, trying to make it through the telly. 1 minute 20 left of the pain train. No signs of stopping the 310 to Yuma through banana with the rail, 25-4. And off the spawn as well, Dewey just getting obliterated. Please, somebody stop this madness. This man has a family.
Yeah, DaHanG's getting more frags in the QPL than most people get in a free-for-all.
Oh, man. Good rails traded. Dewey on the hunt. Doesn't really have a choice. This is all in all the time now as the Berserk comes up, hits him with the Shoryu. And that is the uppercut from hell as Doomslayer 27-4 ripping and tearing his way.
Come on.
Insane.
It's gonna be. It's gonna be 30. Oh, he misses the rocket. Yep, this is 30. I'm calling it.
30 seconds.
The pace.
Don't you slow down on me now. Good rail from dooi. Dire Orb up shortly. If he hits another rail, he could try and finish with the Dire Orb.
Oh.
Anything to get some sort of momentum going, some sort of confidence. There's the rail, there's the Dire Orb play, but actually just uses it for misdirection, and it's going to net him the frag as your predictions are off. Well, I mean,
well, we had 33
prediction.
frags. Yeah. We had 33 frags in total, so just saying.
Brutal. I don't think there's anything to say about that.
Yeah,
one,
I'm not breaking that down. dooi was trash, and he just ran at DaHanG for 10 minutes.
Tell me how you really feel. Not the best performance from dooi there, as DaHanG just had all the answers. Toe-to-toe brute force fights, not in favor of dooi, as DaHanG just outstacked him, and when you go toe-to-toe and you're lacking stack, the LG can't save you. Especially at this level when you know your opponent's going to hit just as much as you, if not more. Just an uphill battle. dooi off to just a horrible start in this set. And the tail goes on. Again, bottom of the Americas leaderboards on the relegation chopping block, and it doesn't look like that's going to change this week, as DaHanG, complete dominance on Awoken.
I mean, yeah, full credit to DaHanG. Like, his aim, his aim looked on point. Yes, dooi wasn't making it awfully hard, but, you know, he wasn't missing shots that he could have easily missed. So you got to credit DaHanG for that still. I obviously will always question what the thought process was for dooi and why he went down that road. Again, there is a clear strategy where you can throw your body at your opponent in a vein to weaken them enough where you then take control and then you snowball, right? But a lot of the early pushes didn't even reflect having an opportunity to be the right choice. You know, he wasn't in a position to weaken him enough. He didn't have the stack. DaHanG just restart. It wasn't the right moment to make that push, which was always why I was questioning it. And then maybe it got to a point where dooi had given up. You know, maybe that was the thought to start with. It didn't work. He knew he was too far behind, and he clearly gave up. But you know, you got to now reset. We've got to move on to map 2 and say, let's start from scratch. The challenge is now, we were looking at this thinking, you've lost the picks. So you're going to have to play out of your mind to come back.
I mean, the same old strategy won't work here. Even if you hit everything, it's Athena versus a Sorlag. Just by default, you're outstacked, and it's just, I think this is going to be more of the same, unfortunately. And I feel like the predictions will reflect that as well. So it was a weird start, too, because dooi posted up around the corner, got the surprise shotgun kill first, and you thought, okay, this is standard dooi, playing very slow, methodical kind of a play, a defensive even, making DaHanG kind of run into him. And then right after that, it was just all out the window, just let's throw fists. And DaHanG came out on top easily, and I feel like more of the same, but we're going to see what dooi has in store. The Athena pick, absolutely brutal in our opinion here on the desk. Athena versus Sorlag, live on Deep Embrace is where we're heading, folks. DaHanG versus dooi, map number 2 in the series. Make some noise in chat. Predictions coming in lopsided, so to speak, but at the very least, thoughts and prayers, please.
Yeah, I mean, someone out there's got balls of steel to put some points on dooi for this one, but you know, if he's going to get it back into this one, we're going to have to see a complete flip in strategy, in play style. I would need to see him to play super positional and careful, but this start doesn't reflect that he wants to do that. He just wants to challenge the Lizard, and it doesn't work out.
Just too thick to quit, although the damage was decent. Got him down to 65. Now he's railable, so DaHanG actually has to play slower, grabbing a 25 to get out of rail range. Does still have the spit up as well. So can dooi get some early damage? There's the hook, there's the defensive spit as DaHanG has to back away. Just ready for anything. DaHanG so prepared. He's going to be able to back up onto that Mega after the tick damage comes out. And LG on LG. DaHanG still weak. dooi will fall back onto some armor, taking it slow this time. Ooh, that is a pretty angle right there.
That was really nice. But no, I mean, the initial frag wasn't great, challenging Sorlag, but the return play was good. Ooh. Wow, what a shot that was.
DaHanG so on point right there. Into the LG. Athena just does not have the stack for this. As DaHanG right on time for the heavy, and brace yourself, Dan. This might be another snuff film.
We go. All right, he's not jumping down. That's improvement.
Does grab the health vial to negate that spit damage here. Oh,
What?
two big chunky rockets as DaHanG looking for that Campbell sponsorship. 4-0, minute 30 in. Oh boy, great rail from DaHanG, and DaHanG is so scary when he's just hitting this hard, especially against a lighter champion, but man, it is.
Yeah.
He's going for records, Stan. He's going for records.
Oh man. And you can see DaHanG, like, as soon as the fight begins to even slightly get too damaging, not even out of his favor, too damaging is the question, he backs off, takes a better approach, allows dooi to go aggressive onto him. So
Yeah,
DaHanG
walk into my crosshair, please. I beg of you.
Exactly.
dooi with the gauntlet. He wanted a piece. Tried to get some of that lizard steak, but DaHanG, the rocket's too strong, taking him out again, 7-0. A little bit of LG. dooi trying to make a play on the Mega, but it's not worth it. Danger, no. Will Robinson.
And this is the balance as an Athena or as a light champion going up against a heavy on this map, is that you constantly have to be in the face of your opponent, but in a way that is safe. You know, preferably playing on the high ground, preferably trying to slow the place down, playing these range game, you know, you're much harder to hit than your opponent. So try and take these rail duels, etc., etc. Just like that. That's the way you start to get back into a game like this. Not trying to close the gap and go mano a mano, particularly when you don't have the stack advantage.
Will dooi heed your wise words? There's a great rail right off the bat, but rockets! Okay. I guess if you get the chip damage, it's not so bad. Does grab the health vial to negate the acid spit and then goes right back into the acid spit, so...
Oh, look at the pace, though!
Wow.
And he's back in your face. And he's got the stack. Nice from DaHanG.
A bit of LG from down below as DaHanG trying to pump some buckshot into dooi. Secures the Mega. 3:30 in, still down by 8. Ooh, rockets missing. DaHanG could have been real close, though. Opts to drop down, gets a little bit of damage as dooi. 82 HP, make that 34. Does have to hook back up. Luckily, Armor Shard awaiting. Does have to give up on the heavy. Potentially, there's the... Oh, never mind. No steal. DaHanG stands his ground, grabs the heavy, and the shotgun kill in his pocket. 11-2. dooi, just this pressure is not warranted off the spawn. Fantastic shot from DaHanG, but... Yeah, just really taking the fight to DaHanG, and why on earth would you ever do that when she's so thick and scaly? And to DaHanG's credit again, he's hitting the shots that he needs to. I mean, you play up close and personal like that, a lot of people might fold under the pressure and miss their shot and give dooi an in, but no dice. DaHanG says no.
I really like watching DaHanG aim sometimes because he doesn't look like, well, no disrespect to him, doesn't look like the most naturally gifted aimer, but the way he aims, at least in my opinion, is he kind of reads where you're going to be standing, and it's so cool and calm.
A lot of pre-aiming from DaHanG.
Exactly.
He's not very flicky, but yeah.
Yeah, he just knows
precise.
exactly where you're going to be and where you're going to dodge, and he just waits for it. He just knows what's going to happen. It's really smooth.
An inspiration to everybody, really. You don't have to be
Oh,
flashy.
bye-bye.
Oh,
no!
Okay. dooi, he tried. Valiant effort there, but DaHanG pops him with the shotgun, makes sure that he stays down 14-2. DaHanG 225s to try and stack back up. He did look weak and vulnerable there for a minute. He's going to actually concede on this Mega. So even with a 12 frag lead, DaHanG playing smart. He doesn't want to give anything away. dooi still makes it happen, makes it rain with that shoddy Pippin play. 3-14 halfway through, Dan.
I think this is really interesting for you. What do you reckon this board's going to be? What should we bet on this?
I don't know. I feel like DaHanG is comfortable with just kind of playing defensive and not really going all in, so I don't see 30, but if dooi, you know, pushes the issue, maybe at least 20? Shotgun on shotgun, and DaHanG actually Statue of Liberty play with the rail there. Makes it rain. Taking so much machine gun damage, has to back away. There's the chase, the shotgun. Will it land? And it will. dooi puts up another one.
I'm going to say 25-8.
25-8. We'll see. DaHanG doing a lot of damage with that machine gun. Takes him down 6 HP. dooi so close to just plus forwarding, shotgunning his way towards getting back in this map, potentially. 4 minutes? Still time?
Don't do this to me, 40.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt you. Great rail there from DaHanG.
Yeah, I mean, even if dooi was playing out of his mind, we already said this particular matchup on this map is a really tough ask.
Oh, and the rockets.
Nice.
Beautiful from DaHanG there. As the steal doesn't happen. DaHanG hugging the corner, trying to swap weapons, but dooi catches him out, pins him with the LG, gets that frag. Still so weak, though. Even the minuscule amount of damage DaHanG did just leaves dooi hanging in the swap to rockets, as dooi really wants to cut up that dinosaur.
The thing is, dooi hasn't even done that badly on the item. It's actually relatively even.
Ooh, off the spawn, maybe could get it. No, too strong. Just Zac is just too thick to melt through it. Yeah, it's not that terrible in terms of item control. It's just, again, the stack coming into play here. The aggression won't work. DaHanG hitting everything, but also having the stack to be able to take just more punishment and hang in there with these fights. Good rocket from above, gets the drop on him. A little bit of hook as well, and dooi stands on top of DaHanG's dead carcass and says, this is mine now. 7-20, though. The map is fully, firmly in DaHanG's hands, and so is the set. As, again, this week will not be the bounce back that we all want dooi to have. So, one step closer to the relegation matches as he's playing with fire, a tightrope walker, and the rocket is going to be what takes him out instead of the water. But wow, that was risque. Really good movement from DaHanG too. That jump is not that easy to make. Although I'm a pleb, so, you know, but still.
This is why Sorlag wasn't particularly favored early on this map. People didn't really find that her movement was that beneficial, but you see, if you learn it and you do it well, she's incredibly strong.
Oh my god.
Wow. Alright, 25-8 is possible, but too conservative by the looks of it.
Yeah. Bet the under here as the tick damage. dooi doesn't really have a choice. He is going to last second hook into his own death as he jumps back, just to take a peek and make sure that the armor's gone. Don't need that pesky thing. Get that out of there. 25-7. Can dooi put up the frag? As the prop predictions are coming in. Tri-bolt raining down. Good rail from DaHanG. And oh, okay. Puts him through the grinder. Oh, again. Ooh, okay, dooi. Okay. He says no, no, no. Hits him with the Dikembe finger. No, thank you. 26-8. Make that 27. Tri-bolt not doing the deed. As dooi bobbing and weaving. He's dancing all day. He's going to push through. Just a tease with the gauntlet here as he grabs the mega to stop the bleeding. And the machine gun is going to be what prevails. The swap from DaHanG, very precise. 27-8, 30 seconds left. And I think from a coach-manager perspective on dooi side, they're running out of towels to throw, Dan. I think there's no more towels. They don't have any in the inventory. 27-8, another brutal scoreline. That
Nice.
is a fantastic rail, though. Credit where credit is due. Threading the needle on that one. Oh, and DaHanG with such a response.
GG.
Yep, that's definitely a way to put that one, sure.
Can we say?
A little bit more of the same. So third map.
You muted my friend, I think. For me, anyway.
I just didn't want people to hear the things that I was saying.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, third map. I don't know. More of the same. Brutal. Savage, wrecked. No, yeah, it's... I don't know. I don't know. The pick was sus right off the bat, right? Maybe he had a little something planned, but just any kind of avenue that he had to try and make things work, DaHanG shut it down. I mean, maybe he's hitting everything. Maybe the entire plan from dooi was to overwhelm with pushes, but doing so against the Sorlag with that stack disadvantage is just a brutal uphill battle, and add in the fact that DaHanG is so calculated and he's hitting everything and popping off. It's just a recipe for disaster right off the bat, especially after seeing the first map and how it was going. I don't see the third map being any different.
No, I mean, it's a good summarization, really. The pick was sus, the strategy, the game plan was even more sus. dooi was playing as he was the Sorlag, and DaHanG was the Athena. So, you know, completely at odds with reality, poor dooi. And that's 2 maps in a row where he's not shown his finest colors on this glorious day. So, going into map 3, I think once again, I don't have a lot of high hopes. The pick's not in the best favor. It's more even. It's a good map for Nyx. It's an okay map for Nyx, but you cannot be playing plus forward, charge at your opponent kind of Quake, because you will not win that as a Nyx. And I don't feel that he's going to change. So if that's the case,
numbers.
Yeah, if that's the case, then not looking too positive. You know, he's got what, minus 30-ish in terms of frags this game.
Yeah, I mean, at this pace, he's probably going to break 10, which is exciting. But I think DaHanG might hit 30. I mean, bigger map, so you gotta think it's slower paced, but you never know. Maybe it's not slower paced. Maybe Dewey just wants to get up there, you know?
I know. I'm expecting a twist in this novel, and Dewey just reverses fortunes and goes full camp mode for 10 minutes, and we end up with a 0-0 overtime.
I'm in it. I'm in it to win it. Let's go. Let's go 10-minute overtime, no frags given. It'll be interesting, yeah. But you gotta. Hats off to DaHanG, but you got to wonder, like, Dewey, where's the bounce back? Is this it? Is this just, you know, is it a matter of, you know, kind of a relegation chopping block? Let me throw whatever I can at the wall, see what sticks. Maybe taking DaHanG by surprise with my strategy, but it's just not working. It's
man, if you chuck shit at the wall, even if it sticks, it's still shit. It's not going to work all the time. So, like,
that's one way to put it. Yeah, maybe he's smearing SOS in that. I don't know. I don't know. Somebody needs to help Dewey, and hopefully he can help himself. But map number 3 might be more of the same. DaHanG looking to tack on a 3-0 victory and try and tie it up with Rafa in the leaderboards on the Americas side. But we're live between Dewey DaHanG map number 3 right now as Dewey gets the mega spawn, tries to make something happen after a little bit of rockets, but DaHanG's right there peppering with machine gun. Again, perfect weapon choices, doing the damage wherever and however he can to stay on top.
Good. We haven't seen a frag in the first 20 seconds, so that's an improvement on map 1 and 2. And Dewey actually looks like he will be playing a bit more strategically. Falling back for the light. DaHanG is making himself heard, and this is why Shotgun Pika, particularly against the Nyx, is so powerful. You can just get in her face, you can keep her stack low, you can force out the Ghost Swap, which he has done already. But Dewey going in aggressive here, and then will this be the play? I don't know. He hasn't got a Ghost Swap to fall back on, but if he hits his shots, that's where it comes to count, and he actually backs off, which is a positive sign.
Rails traded, both players weak. Next rail wins here. DaHanG trying to stay alive, trying to calculate exactly where Dewey might peak from, but Dewey's already gone, trying to stack back up, make sure that he can try and contest for this mega. DaHanG taking his time, slower, looks like full concession on the mega and wants to play for the heavy. Peeker in pocket in case he needs to pop lock and drop it. Here's the mega pickup. Heavy's going to be free as Dewey's nowhere to be found.
Nope, and we see Dewey playing as he should be now, playing slow, playing around the choke point, catching DaHanG off guard with the rail, and that's exactly what you need to be doing as a Nyx. Back-to-back rails, follow it in. But going up against a Strog, he has the utility of the speed of the crouch slide, he's got the Pika to have the burst damage. It's going to be a tough map.
But I mean, so far so good. No frags 2 minutes in. This is a vastly different pace than the first two.
100%. Dewey waiting around. He actually didn't split the items, and what that shows me is that he's not confident at this stage of the map to play a control game. So he delayed it, tied the item, which means he's always got one of the 2 items to fall back on. The way this map is split means you can definitely get one of the major items if you play your cards right, if they're on the same timing. So Dewey did that. He's already chosen the heavy. He's set up early. It's good play from Dewey so far.
Faked out the jump pad as DaHanG was lying in wait. Good move from Dewey there. And this absolutely could be one of those maps where Dewey plus backs to a 1-0 victory in sudden death. Potential is there as the drop down from DaHanG with the LG. Trying to use that eyeball to stay alive. Dewey trying to make his way out of there.
Oh no.
And if you don't use it, you lose it, Dan. And he lost his life on that one. DaHanG up 1. Has Peeker in pocket. Sets up with a beautiful rail on the way out after the heavy pickup. And another one through the telly. Dewey able to respond with a rail of his own, but he gets a big old peeker to the face as DaHanG makes it 2-0 3 minutes in. And this is going to heat up now after a slow start. I feel like DaHanG might tack on another one.
No, great. I guess Oh man, and see the smart play from DaHanG there? Instead of trying to do the hard thing of hitting 2 rails back to back, he weakened his opponent to the point he knew he was railable. Got a rail. Really smart, professional play from DaHanG.
Just so calculated. Accounting for everything as he's going to grab that lower 50 shard, making his way for a little bit of LG. Oh, that
Close.
one just gave Nyx a haircut. Very, very close right there.
DaHanG is starting to split the items now, meaning he can capitalize upon this and get back-to-back items. And doi's actually going to stick around for this Mega. He knows DaHanG is on the low ground. He can't actually get it, but a rocket jump up. Perfect timing. Risky play from dooi didn't pay off, and now DaHanG is there. The Ghost Walk is not there. And now this map begins to spiral.
The downward spiral indeed. It's LG, dooi trying to rely on that shotgun. Does get a big chunky blast and jumps over. One more could do it. But no, DaHanG survives to fight another day. Never mind,
nice.
dooi waiting patiently on that eyeball. Good read, gets that frag. 1 to 5. Good frag off the, rail off the spawn, which could lead to a frag here, but the heavy pickup saving DaHanG's life.
Aggressive Ghost Walk, but
Oh,
DaHanG
no!
actually does a rocket jump up. He messes that one up, and dooi switches to the rail. Really nice shot. He's creeping his way back into this game.
Rails on rails on rails. Saving grace right now for dooi. Avoids a tickle, grabs the Mega, but now the sprint for the heavy is on. doi's going to be nowhere to be found there. Does get a good rail. No potential for another one. Strog way too fast to hang out of there rather quickly. But this is it. This is where dooi turns it all around, Dan. It's all a different story on map number 3.
I'm hoping so. He's definitely playing a lot better. I think a few of the frags in the mid game that he gave up were a bit sloppy, but you can see a much more patient approach, and definitely still in with a chance on this map. 3 frags is quite easily manageable on Ruins, but again, has to be a perfect game. Cannot afford to give up his stack, cannot afford to give up control. Has to use the Ghost Walk carefully, and he goes aggressive here, trying to catch DaHanG off guard, which he does do. Comes out a little bit early. Lovely drop from DaHanG, and again, the quick Pika play, spot on, shows his proficiency on that champion. But I like the proactivity from dooi.
Yeah, not bad. If he would have hit that rocket, would have been a different story there. As the rocket's up close and personal, DaHanG floats him. Bouncy, bouncy, 6 to 2. And this is bad right off the bat. Takes a rail. dooi trying to hang in there. Does grab a bubble to get out, but he wants a piece. He wants a piece. He's going to drop down. He wants to take the fight to DaHanG. DaHanG with the LG says, "Stay away from me, you madman."
Yeah, madman indeed. And is that the signal that dooi has now once again thrown in his third and final towel? He found another one. He's holding it above DaHanG. Has he thrown it in yet? I think last chance saloon with this push again is now 6 frag the difference. That is maybe a bridge too far.
Maybe. We might have seen the last of dooi on this set here as last chance saloon indeed. It was whiskey business and he looks a little drunk. 74 HP and the peeker takes him out. Oh Lord, DaHanG, why?
I mean, this series has felt like that scene in Jurassic Park where they just dropped the sheep into the raptor pen. Poor dooi has just been
You didn't have to do him
into,
like that, Dan. You didn't have to do him like that.
into a consecutive weeks of Rafa and DaHanG, and
Ooh,
yeah,
that was a really nice jump. Let's talk
was
about that
actually.
one. I got for the people at home, you missed it. Dewey's got the moves like Jagger, but he's just planted again by DaHanG. 10 to 2. As it looks like DaHanG is going to move towards this 3-0 victory, and I believe, if my calculations are correct, which they probably aren't because American maths, that'll put him on par with Rafa on the America side in the leaderboards. Both players will be 5-0, 14-1 on the record for maps. So the Liquid Boys coming up big in the Americas here as, did I miss something? I think I did.
they've GG'd out.
Ah, fantastic. Well, I mean, what do you say? What do you say? There's not much to do.
Yeah, in hindsight, they could have done that on map 1.
Rude.
But
not wrong. Not wrong.
No,
but
you got to look at this and you got to say DaHanG played well. He looks really crisp, as we said going into this. He's definitely been finding his form again. His aim looks spectacular. His decision making, his professionalism, all on point, and that's what you expect from DaHanG. dooi needs to go away. Hope he never faces a liquid guy again, and try to take some points off of people in his end of the leaderboard.
Yeah, I mean, he might not even drink water anymore because he's so terrified of liquid, but it's just a 3-0, 3-0 back-to-back trouncing from the liquid boys. And DaHanG, again, credit to him. He's looking really crisp. As you said, in the Pro League, you have to be ready for any kind of strategy, be it very tactical, methodical play, very defensive play, or I'm going to throw my body at you over and over and over again, make you hit all your shots kind of play. DaHanG showing that he's ready for anything. On top of his game, again, tied in the leaderboards with Rafa, 14-1 in terms of maps, 5-0 for sets. I think that hasn't happened previously, so this is kind of DaHanG's best showing this season. And yeah, he's doing a really, really good job as we creep closer to the Stage 2 finals.
Yeah, nearly 70 frags in 3 games. DaHanG wraps up.
Absolute beast mode. He's so jacked. Eats at the finest restaurants. I've always said that about DaHanG, so... Yeah. So, I mean, what else do you say, Dan? I don't know. Is there anything that dooi could have done differently besides throwing his body constantly at DaHanG? I mean, you know, you hit those shotgun blasts, you hit a couple dire orbs, it spirals in your favor. I get it. But when you're down 10, you got to switch it up. Or maybe it's just too late when you're down 10. You got to pedal to the metal and keep trying. I don't know.
I mean, who knows what was going through his mind to make the decisions he did. He got an early lead on the first map, which lasted all of 5 seconds. A slight mistiming on a heavy, went aggressive. Subsequent mistiming on a heavy, carried on going aggressive, and then the pressure, the W, maybe the W key got stuck. I don't know. It didn't feel like he took his foot off that pedal the entire map. Map 2 was always going to be tough, but we needed to see a much more reserved game. And again, he just played like he was the Sorlak in that matchup, not the light champion, and just went too aggro. This map, I think we saw a much better balance from dooi, but again, there was a couple of throwaway frags in the mid game, and then you saw towards the end he just kind of lost all hope, and DaHanG took an easy victory for his standards.
Yeah, it seems like a couple things don't go dooi's way, and then DaHanG just broke him mentally across his knee like Batman and Bane. Brutal. Yeah, absolutely brutal. This series is going to go down as a highlight reel for DaHanG as he takes it easily 3-0 over dooi, forcing him even further down in the bracket, in the leaderboards. It looks like the story is going to be relegation time for dooi come stage finals, unless he can make a miraculous turnaround for the last couple weeks of the Pro League. With big shouts to DaHanG, ready for anything, putting up big numbers. Quite possibly the biggest, maybe. I think maybe Razy or Rafa have him beat. I'm not quite certain. Somebody out there needs to run the stats for me, but yeah. We're going to take a look at the highlight reel, Dan, and brutal. Everybody, I think, needs a cigarette after that one. That was a little rough.
I'm going to have a pipe.
Yeah, there was a lot of pipe in that one. I don't know if we need any more.
Dear Lord, poor dooi. Poor dooi, indeed. And yes, as you said, he will need a fairly drastic change of fortunes to turn this season around now, as he's kind of scraping the barrel, 0-5. A couple of his opponents above him have bye weeks, so you know he's not looking great. And I kind of credited him at the start, said we've seen some good performances here and there, sporadic, but it's just not going his way. And today was a drastic miscalculation in the way he should play. So let's hope he learns from it going forward.
Yeah, whatever's going on back there. I mean, we've seen dooi play a lot better. We've seen him take down some of the EU players as well, which historically, based on you and everyone else, is just trouncing the NA talent, which I find offensive, but that's neither here nor there. So we know dooi can play better. It's a matter of when we're going to see that dooi emerge again. And time is ticking, unfortunately. So can't help but think that the relegation's on the table for dooi, confirmed. But again, big shouts to DaHanG, 3-0. We got more Quake action on the way, so don't go anywhere. Get some snacks, maybe a cigarette, and we'll see you in about 5 minutes. How's that sound?